Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to you from Singapore. And if you're connecting from Europe, a very good morning. And if you're connecting from Australia, a very good evening. I see that a couple of our colleagues are slowly joining since today's session is very important. So before we officially begin and introduce and brief everyone about the process and start the pitching, is it okay if we give a few more minutes so that more colleagues join? Is that okay with everyone? Maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. Thank you so much. I see a lot of you are nodding. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Um, so first of all, thank you so much for all the hard work and all the time commitment that you have shown over the last couple of weeks. Today is our special moment with pitching of 9 cross-faculty collaborative project proposals. And we are excited to welcome you to this cross-faculty project pitching for the 17 Days of Classroom Network faculty collaboration on learning about AI and learning with AI. So first of all, as usual, very briefly, the session format, cross-faculty project sign-up brief. So we will pause for a moment to share a link that we created for sign-up, and then we will go directly right into the project proposal pitching because we have allocated, as you have seen, very small amount of time for each pitch so that we can hear from everyone. And also, if our participants have questions, they can also raise it. We are excited that we have received 3 proposals on curriculum, 4 on research, 1 on event, 1 on wildcard. So pretty much in every category. Thank you so much for that. We will begin with the curriculum and then research and then event and then the wildcard. And our presenters already know the presentation sequence. So I'm confident that all of them are very well prepared. And then after each pitch, we will have a very brief question and answer session so that if there is any questions at all, our project proposal owners can address them. However, depending on the time, we will have an overall question and answer session in the end, and then we'll very briefly share what to expect next. So with that, my apologies, before we go into the pitch by our project proposal owner, let me quickly share a link in the chat box for the sign up. So I have sent a link. May I request all of you to quickly click on the link and see whether you can see the sign up sheet? And then we will take it from there. As you were trying to figure out whether the link works or not, whether you have access to it or not, very briefly about the link. Some of you have proposed projects and some of you have not. However, all of you have to, fill out this form because there is also a question about the on-site conference. So if you are proposing a project, you can just select that you are joining this project. Although it's your project, it's okay. However, we also know that based on our experience from last year, some of the participants, they have their own project, but they also want to take part in another participant's project. So in that case, you can indicate your interest as well. So we are expecting, in a way, everybody to submit this form. After every form, you will see there is a link in the description. If you want to learn more about the project, you can check the link. We uploaded all of the proposals in a Google folder so that all of you can read the whole proposal that are proposed by our project proposal owners. And then some of the participants indicated that for official engagements, they cannot join the session live today. So we are recording it and then we will upload it on our e-learning platform. And we have ideally, our goal is to get the sign up immediately during the session. However, considering everyone's convenience, we have given until Tuesday, but we might have to extend it a little bit depending on how we receive the sign up. We will keep you posted on that. So we are expecting to finalize all the projects by next week. And then internally, we have some, stuff to sort, and then we will send out the invite to the final project owners, final list of project owners to present the projects in Manila, Philippines for the onset conference. And now, maybe you can type in the chat box whether everybody has the link and whether you have any difficulties or whether, there is no issues with the link. If you could indicate very quickly, it would be really helpful for me and Angie. I see that you gave a thumbs up. Some of you, okay, that's very, very good. Okay, hopefully then the link is working. Can I check if you could quickly, so in the link, there are Google form. If you click next, I think maybe you can just quickly, let me just share the link. So I'll give an example from one project. So this is a Google link for the first project. Could you please kindly check it and see whether you can see it? Because sometimes with Google form, although from our side to give the access, it's a bit complicated. They ask you to sign with the Gmail. So I want to make sure that there is no problem when you are opening the document. I see that Laura, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Just a quick clarification. Hello, everybody. So I proposed a project, but if nobody is willing to join my project, is it still possible that I join another one?
Absolutely.
So after the deadline. So we wait until the 23rd of July. It turns out that actually no one is really interested in my proposal. So then it is still possible to join another one for me.
Absolutely. We are also trying to be as flexible as possible. But if I may suggest, I would say when you fill out the form, you already indicate which, another project that you want to take part in. In case you have enough members for your project and you only want to lead your project and don't want to sign up for the other, you can, in that case, drop out. I think that would be easier, both for you and for us as well.
Thank you.
Because, if one or two participants drop out, this is still okay because we are looking at, we are not looking at a fixed number. We have a cap. So depending on that, we will finalize the list. So can I have a thumbs up for this Google link, whether there, because the setting for all the links are the same. Okay, I got the thumbs up I needed. Thank you so much, which means all the links are fine. Now we can begin our project pitch. So first, we have our curriculum team. And to avoid sharing and resharing screen after each presentation, since the time is very limited, I'm going to very briefly go through all the categories and introduce all the project proposal owners. And then we will begin from 1 to 9, one after another. So for our speakers today who are presenting a project, please take note. So our first presentation for the projects will be from Singapore and Cyprus by Dr. Dai Hui Tan and Dr. Theodora Kakori. I hope you both are ready. And then we will have Professor Sangchi Tan from National Institute of Education, Singapore. And then we have Mr. MD Nahid Firdaus Bhuiya from NAIM, Bangladesh. So we have 3 projects on curriculum, and as they are presenting, I will share the Google Doc link in the chat box so that, when you are listening to their pitch, if you also want to look at their proposal, you can do that. And then if you already, if you already make up your mind to sign up for a project, you can immediately sign up to the Form-Stack form. And then we will begin with our research category. And then for that, we will begin with our speaker from Hungary, Dr. Ariana Kitzinger from University of Soporon. And then we will move on to Thailand, Kasetsart University. We have 2 presentations from the same institution by Dr. Sarinporn Chaivisit and Dr. Watsatri Ditoyont. And then again, Nahid from NAIM Bangladesh have another project on research, so he will present for this as well. And then Nahid have another project. He was very enthusiastic and proposed 3 projects, and we wanted to, give an opportunity for you to hear all 3 proposals. And of course, depending on the sign up, we will finalize. Because we don't want to also have one participant having multiple projects, considering the workload and also to maximize the success of the project. Maybe we will limit to 1 to 2 projects. So it's also for you to note, Nahid. So we have one project on event by Nahid, and then our last one will be on wildcard by Dr. Laura Sinoros Sabo from University of Sopron, Hungary. And then we will close and have an overall question and answer session, because we assume that some of you might have some practical questions on the project page as well as the future of these projects. So with this, let me first invite our first group of speakers on curriculum. So Theodora and Davy, the floor is yours to begin. And you have 5 minutes and for the project page and 3 minutes for question and answer session.
All right. So a very good morning to those in Europe and afternoon to those in Singapore and Asia. It's my pleasure and also that of Theodora to share our proposed project with all of you. As you know, Theodora and myself are teacher trainers, so we have jointly come up with a project proposal under the third category of curriculum, basically to design a PD program to raise the digital competencies of the teachers whom we help to develop. So our curriculum is a self-paced learning course meant for teachers and created by the teachers themselves, and is tentatively titled as AI Learning for Teachers. We will share more about this curriculum with these 4 points as shown on the slide. First of all, why a curriculum like this? These are our considerations. We are mindful that the teachers are adult learners. And being adult learners, they are pragmatic and goal-oriented. So they want practical ideas that they can straight away take away and apply in the classrooms, while at the same time aiming to be digitally competent that is aligned with EU and international digital competencies framework. At the same time, they also want to take charge of their own learning rather than having someone telling them what they should learn. But because they have unique contexts and experiences, they may also have different starting points in terms of where their digital competency levels in AI lie. So as such, our proposed curriculum is firstly tiered, comprising 4 levels to cater to different competency levels of our target audience, who are the school teachers. Secondly, self-paced and self-directed, because as adult learners, they like to take control in how they learn. And lastly, co-constructed with the teachers themselves, because we acknowledge that these teachers come with their own wealth of knowledge and experience, and we want to value them for that. So this is tentatively how we plan the 4 levels to look like, starting with knowledge acquisition at level 1, progressing to application at level 2, then to synthesizing at level 3, and then to reflecting and consolidating at level 4. And depending on where the teachers think they are at, they can start learning at any level as they deem fit. Secondly, what is this curriculum about? Our curriculum comprises a mix of curated and created content. Curated content will be those that we select from open sources that we can legally take and share, and can be anything from articles, videos, web links, etc. Created content, on the other hand, will be those that we in the project team, or eventually the learners, which are the teachers themselves, create. Because this created content will be customized to the specific subject disciplines, student learning profile, pedagogical aims, etc. And as the learners progress up the levels, they will be more actively involved, such as at levels 3 and 4, as you can see, they will be creating more of their own ideas and sharing them with fellow learners. Then they will be receiving what is created and curated for them. Now I will pass the time to Theodora, who will take you through the remaining parts of our presentation. Theodora, please.
Thank you, Tai. Good morning from the US. It's too early here, so apologies for an interruption or, a lot of coffee here. So who is the curriculum for? Can you change the slide, please? Yeah. So the curriculum for teachers, only for teachers. Pedagogy comes first. So school teachers in primary, secondary, and post-secondary schools, or equivalent level for those educational systems that apply. We intend to design the whole curriculum for countries participating in the ASF project team members. And we hope that ASF school collaboration program participants can join our pilot phase. So to test and reflect on their feedback and make the MOOC more accessible to everyone. So the MOOC, how's the curriculum implemented? We intend to design a MOOC on an open source learning management system. Hopefully that is going to be Moodle or Canvas that will allow teachers with only internet access to freely self-paced content and learn from it and reflect on it. The 4 levels can be constructed in 4 modules with digital content. Within the learning design, we hope that we want to have interactive assignments, quizzes, and other micro-learning components, as well as collaboration features built within. We hope that pilots will contribute to improve the content, and definitely who will join the project will be a course designer for the project. So we hope that some of you will join us to this exciting, I think, project and can contribute to this project by selecting appropriate learning materials, which are already located or designed and prepared from us, create task-specific prompts, create lesson plans and ideas, and of course, supporting and collaborating with us to creating the LMS, which will host the whole curriculum. Of course, we intend to translate the learning material to different languages, definitely English and Greek from my side, and hopefully if other members will join us, we will consider translating to other languages to be accessible to a vast majority of participants. And finalizing this pitching, we warmly welcome you to join us. We are an exciting team, me and Tai, and hopefully we can contribute towards teachers' further professional development by creating a curriculum to support them towards AI learning in the AI era. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
Dani
thank you.
Theodora.
Thank you.
So we gave you a bit of extra time since you were the first one. We always do that for everyone who is presenting first. So for our next presentation onward, we will remind you when you have 1 minute left. However, you went a bit over time beyond the extra minute. So we will take that from your Q&A. And hopefully those of you who have questions for them, you can type in the chat box. I think we can take one question if anybody has one. So I think here we can, you can raise your hand or you can just unmute yourself and speak. Let's see if there is any live question for you. I don't see any hands raised. So hopefully everything is clear. However, please feel free to type your question in the chat box for Theodora and Daihu, and they will keep an eye on the chat box. And now with this, let's invite our next project proposal pitch by Professor Sangchi Tan from NIE Singapore. And I have shared his proposal link in the chat box so that you can read about it as well. Yes, okay, perfect. And your time begins whenever you start to speak, Professor Sangchi.
Thank you, everyone. Can you see my shared screen?
Yes.
Yeah, great. So my project is titled Leveraging Generative AI for Teaching and Learning. Quite similar to the first group. Maybe let me explain to you the rationale first. So basically, the rationale is because I think with the launch of ChatGPT in 2022, it triggered a polarized reaction with some extreme positions, some taking a utopian view, and some taking a more view that AI is actually doing more harm than good. So I think this curriculum basically is to broaden participants' awareness of the various approaches to teaching and learning with generative AI that have the potential to transform teaching and learning approaches. And last week I presented kind of framework that we can use for using generative AI for teaching and learning. Basically, there are 9 boxes here. Is learning from AI, learning with AI, and learning about AI. And each of this way of learning can be students learning. It can be teachers teaching the students, helping them with their learning. It can be teachers learning layer as well. So basically, based on this framework, my proposal is basically to come up with a curriculum for this. And who are the target audience? Depending on the sign up, it can be university level or school levels. I think it's generic enough to cater for either level. And what will we be doing basically to develop case examples of each of these approaches, each of these 9 approaches, and to explain the design behind this, to explain the teachers and students' roles in each of these approaches, highlight the key implementation strategies, and highlight ethical considerations. How are we going to do this? Basically, we will have shared resources in a shared platform like Google Drive. Imagine, let's say you create a PowerPoint, and this will be inside this shared drive, and the members can then use it, adapt it for their own teaching and learning. So that's my idea. Just to give you an example, let's say you want to talk about teachers learning, then you can create one particular approach about teachers learning. This can be case examples from what you have read or what you have tried yourself. And the overall structure, there will be an introduction that I will create to generative AI implication for education. I will also explain about what do I mean by learning from, learning with, and learning about. And then each of these 9 approaches can come in to talk about case examples. And from this, we'll develop the resources that can be shared. We can give each other feedback, improve on the resources. You can adapt it for your own use. You can translate into own languages. And maybe after this, we can evolve into research and development for PD approaches. Why are we doing this? I think my intention is actually to present a very easy to remember and very easy to understand a framework that people can use to guide their development and to extend beyond what current prevalent approach that is learning from AI. So we want to extend beyond that notions. Timeline, we will have initial meeting once after we confirm a sign out, and we can take about 2 months to develop the resources. And maybe if a time you want to start trying out one of these approaches in October or so, you can do so. And in November, during the conference, you can then share our resources and some of the findings if possible, and future collaboration. So that is essentially what I have in mind. Thank you very much. And you can look at my email here. I believe that's probably also in the pitch document. And these are some of the references that I've used to develop this framework. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Sangchitan. Now we will pause here for a very quick question and answer session for this pitch. So if you have any questions, please, you can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself and speak. Let's see. Any question for Professor Sangchi? Okay, so I don't see anyone who raised their hand, so we will move on. However, if you come up with a question as you are reading his proposal, you can type in the, oh, I see, sorry, Laura, yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, just a quick question that could you please explain a bit more how is it connected to curriculum? Because it sounded like a research really to me.
Oh, it's meant for teaching. Basically, we use these resources to help teachers to learn this framework, how they can use AI to learn from, to learn with, and to learn about. So this material will be used for teachers' learning.
Is that clear for you, Laura, or do you need more clarification?
If I understand it correctly, so all the findings of your project can be used when designing the curriculum for courses.
So we'll be developing resources that people can use and adapt the resource for their own teacher professional development. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much, Laura, and thank you so much, Professor Sangchitan, for presenting the proposal. And regarding the contact details, we appreciate that you have already shared it because considering the GDPR, PDPU, we often don't share it in our forms. However, once we have the sign-up list, we will introduce every team. So for example, if there are 5 members who signed up for your project, we will then create an introduction email and sharing everyone's contact details in that email. So that's for everyone's reference as well. Now we will move on to our next presentation. However, I don't see our speaker from Bangladesh here today. I think just for everyone's background, currently there are some violence going on in Bangladesh in considering the education sector. There are some student protests. It's actually very bad. So I'm not sure. I hope that Nahid is okay and everything is okay from his side. I have sent him an email. Hopefully he will join soon. So third one from the curriculum category was by Nahid. So since he's not here, we will go for the next one, research category. And for research category, our first speaker is from Hungary, Dr. Ariana Kitzinger. And then we will move on with the others as well. Ariana, are you ready to share your screen and present?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
trying
perfect.
to, can you see that?
Yes, it's loading from our.
Okay, right, yes. So, sorry, I haven't made a PPT because I'm just on holiday in another city and I've just popped in. Thank you very much for your attention. And I'm trying to tell you what this research is about. I've tried to submit something in some research proposal in research category, and I do hope that we'll manage to make it attractive, and we do hope that some people will join. So this is something about AI in foreign language learning and beyond. Why beyond? First of all, I have to explain the title because it is not only about foreign language learning and teaching, but also about how AI is used in applied linguistics, or mostly in educational linguistics, of course. And then it would be very ideal and beneficial, I think, to some of us to make a comparative study on this at this point about language learning and how to use AI in different language-related programs. So first of all, as most than something about the background is that AI is used everywhere, and it's anticipated that this technology will be, or all technology will be AI based in the near future. So it's simply unavoidable to make a survey, do research into how it is used in language-related subjects and language-related studies. So it means that, first of all, I think it's very important to make a difference and a distinction between what AI means in language learning and what it means in language-related professions, for instance, in translating or text writing, and so how other people who are not only teachers, but how other people can use AI in their job, supposing that it is a language demanding job. What is important here is that as far as methodology is concerned, is that it's a comparative nature. So therefore, I think I suppose it might be important or interesting not only for one country, but it could be a kind of a global project and as well. And then the aim of the research is to gather data and analyze the attitudes, awareness, and utilization of artificial intelligence in foreign language learning, especially among university students. Then I think that we can be quite flexible about that, because teachers can also be involved. And while it's also up to the other participants how we can form, how we can shape, how we can make the whole thing a bit more tailor-made. So this is just a kind of springboard for a probably working project. And then I also try to shape some research questions. First of all, in which areas of applied linguistics can artificial intelligence be employed? I think that this is a kind of base for that. And then what distinguishes foreign language learning programs from other language-related programs, such as those focusing on dictionaries, translation, and proofreading, and how it is also integrated into foreign language learning. And then in what ways do language-related programs manifest within the various domains of applied linguistics? So something about language learning programs, something about language-related programs, and then we could just make a kind of comparison about the overlapping of these two. And then what is the current understanding among students regarding the relationship between foreign language learning programs and artificial intelligence? Then I also try to set up some hypotheses, which are as follows. A clear distinction can be identified between foreign language learning programs and those related to language, that is language-related programs. And then students are able to identify the use of artificial intelligence in their foreign language learning strategies. Then also students demonstrate a preference for specific AI devices in foreign language learning contexts. Then the students integrate language-related programs with foreign language learning programs, and there are significant discrepancies between the outputs of language-related programs with regard to different languages, which might need some more explanation, which I do in a minute. And then, as far as research methodology is concerned, I think that there's a useful and advantageous way of methodologies, the triangulation approach. I think that might be useful in this case. That could be a kind of observation among students when there's a given assignment, and then a given assignment is monitored in different universities related to different language-related tasks. And then we can also interview students. I think that I've already talked about that. I've also made myself a mini survey about that. And then also desk research might be interesting and important, just to explore whether there's a kind of university document about AI in language learning and teaching, if there are any actually. And then additionally, which is, I think that this is a kind of innovative part, if I may say, an innovative part part of the program is that there could be also an experiment with students ideally in three different countries, which means that there could be, and this is a bit more language or linguistic specific part, where there could be a given text, and that this given text could be translated from English into different first languages of the students, and then with and without the AI. There could be a kind of interesting comparison, which one is better. I mean that with which is done with the AI or without AI. This is one of the points of the comparison, and the other could be that, and here when they are teachers of first language are also needed, and just to draw some more conclusions about how valid the texts are in our own first language. What I mean by that is that I think that these language-related programs are quite well elaborated in the bigger languages. I mean that the most widespread languages, for instance, English, German, French. But actually, in some other cases, I've also experienced it with German, or especially with Italian, where these programs can't really make difference between formal and informal language, and there are lots of problems with different suffixes. Also, I've experienced it, especially in Hungarian. So I think that could be also interesting how well developed these devices in different languages, because we all speak about English, but now I think that we could also speak about some national languages or some more official languages, just to make a survey about how we can work with other languages as well. And this is also within the scope, within the frame of linguistic diversity, which is very much suggested and recommended by EU as well. Anyway, and then I've also made a kind of timeline. I'm not going into details about that because it's quite clear. I just have one question to Jyoti later, whether it's okay to count with 7 or 8 months, or do we have to finish it as early as possible? Well, it depends, and also it depends how extended the project is going to be. And then it means that, expected contribution means that that could be very ideal to have some more countries just to mirror the use of AI in different countries. And I think that the ideal number could be about 3 universities maybe. But if there are more, that's then you are welcome. Then of course, there's the scope. I think it's quite well understood, but something about the limitation as about the number of the countries, that if there are only 3 countries involved in the research, it means that it's still quite limited, and the result will be constrained by a lack of statistical power. So it's what I'm a bit afraid of is that the quantity is a bit behind quality. I mean that qualitative research could be a bit more interesting or important here. Then I'd be very happy to get the ideas about some quantitative part as well. So we need a kind of a statistic element as well. So it means that yes, ethical considerations are okay. Then public of research, yes, and that is something which I think might be important or interesting and beneficial to all of us. That just to make a kind of complex and kind of collaboration, and then that could be a kind of output as well in some indexed or acknowledged academic journal. And I think that could be a kind of beneficial point of the project.
So
Well,
sorry for
that's all.
interrupting, Ariana, because of the
Yeah.
time.
That's the end. Sorry, that's
No
the
worries.
end. And this is just in nutshell. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ariana, for presenting your project. Maybe we can take one question very quickly. And also, could you please type the question you had for me in the chat box? I'm so sorry. I was trying to connect with one of the participant who is not here today to check. So I was a bit distracted. My apologies for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
have any question for Ariana from our
Yeah. Thanks.
participants? You can raise your hand or you can type in the chat box, or also you can unmute yourself and ask any questions at all for Ariana. I have a question. It's mainly related to actually coordination, because from the same institution, actually this question applies to also WhatsApp 3 and Sarinpur. Since you are coming from the same institution, are you also in a way supporting one another or plan to take part in each other's project, or you want to stick to your project? Have you discussed it, or how you are also in a way gathering institutional support for both project collaboratively or separately? If you could share that with us, I think it would be very beneficial for everyone. Ariana, maybe Laura
Yeah.
can also comment. Yeah.
I think that we could just support each other in our project if one of them wins at all. So I think that that could be a kind of cooperation, collaboration among us. But of course, we'll have to know that here we are with Laura and Reka and me from three different parts of the project. But actually, I think that there's a kind of overlapping. So we'd be happy to work together. But well, we know that who's responsible for what. But I think that there wouldn't be any, from my part at least, it wouldn't be any problem to collaborate with the colleagues of the university, of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can I?
Yes,
So
of course.
So, so of course there are the leads for each project proposals, and for the research, that's of course Ariana, and I support her as much as I can. And for the wildcard, the platform, I'm the project lead. So this project leader. So if both of us win, so both projects get supported, then of course also all the results and findings from Ariana's research can be shared on the platform. But I'll talk about this later on.
Thank you so much, Laura, and thank you so much, Ariana, for presenting your project. And I have already shared the link in the chat box. So those of you who are interested, you can read out and then decide if you want to sign up.
Thank you very much. I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I must be leaving now because I'm
No
just
worries.
on holiday.
No
I
worries.
have a different schedule now, but I'm available, and Reka and Laura will do their best to follow the rest. Thank you very much, and sorry.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Thank you so much, Ariana. We encourage you to also look at the sign-up sheet when you have
Sure.
time, and then
Sure.
yeah. Okay.
Sure. I did the sign-in sheet, so
Perfect.
that's no
Perfect.
problem. And then I'll be waiting for the
Okay.
other colleagues to apply. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, Ariana. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Okay, now we will move on to our next presentation in the research category by Dr. Sarin Porn, Chai visit from Kasetsart University, Thailand. And here in the chat box, I'm sharing the link to her project proposal so that you can learn more.
Hello, everyone. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, yes, the screen is clear from my side.
Yes, okay. Hello, everyone. Sarin Porn Chavisit, or YAM. I would like to propose a research entitled Exploring Teachers' Competencies for Using AI to Support Meaningful Teaching in a Changing World. And the aim of the research is to explore teachers' competencies for using AI to support teaching in meaningful ways. And I hope that research can be helpful for people who are try to developing the curriculum or instructions for teachers to use AI. And the research questions are that the first one is, what is the definition of AI, teachers' AI competency? And the second is, how do teachers use AI to support meaningful teaching? And the last one is, what are the gaps in AI competencies that teachers need to improve so that we can know how can we bridge those gaps? And in this research, we use a systematic review to review literatures from database, including Scopus, ERIC, and academic search estimates from EBS cohorts. And also right now, there's Scopus AI that we can use to help us to do literature review too. For example, if I type the research question number 1, what is the definition of teachers' AI competencies? And then Scopus already line up the summaries and also the concept map and the link to the articles from Scopus. So this can be helpful. For the research timeline, for this month, we'll initiate the keywords for searching, and then next month research for literature, and then review the literatures and analyze the data, and finally present the finding in November. And the expected contribution in the AI and educational field is that to demonstrate teachers' competency in using AI to support meaningful teaching. But for this systematic review, we'll focus on only K-12 teachers. For the ethical consideration, since this research does not collect the informations or confidentials from participants, so it does not require IRB approval. And the researcher will ensure for the ethical decision makings in doing the systematic review process. And we'll use Scopus AI to help or to assist in a literature review process, but we'll not just only copy and paste the content that Scopus AI generated. And finally, for post-project plan, I hope that research can be helpful and give information for developing the teachers' AI competencies training program. Yeah, and that's all for this project.
Thank you so much, Sarinporn. Maybe we can pause here for Q&A. Anybody have questions for Sarinporn? Let me quickly check the. Okay, I don't see any hands raised. So I think we will move on to the next one. As usual, if you have any questions, please, you can type in the chat box, or you can also directly send it to Dr. Sarinporn, and then she will reply. Now from the same institution, Kasetsart University, let's invite our next presenter on the research category, Dr. WhatsApp3 Dityon.
Okay, so I propose the research project. The title is Redesigning a Framework for the AI of the Digital Pedagogy in the AI Era. So I have reviewed several articles that talk about the impact of AI, the challenge that we have to face with the AI tools in the term of learning and teaching. And then I found that everyone try to find out what the impact, what the negative impact, what the positive impact, and what the challenge we have to concerns. But I don't see the research that talk about how they combine that result together and give the idea of what the new framework of the digital pedagogy that we support to redesign when we have a very intelligent tool like the AI. So this is the abstract. You can read my abstract. I mean the short idea in the through the link. So after I found the gap about that, so that's why my objective of this project. I have a 3 objective. First one, I try to explore the impact factor, and then the next one, I try to explore the related issue and challenge that we have to concerns. And then the objective number 3 is I try to come out and try to summarize, analysis, and use the key idea to develop the digital pedagogy, to develop the new framework of the digital pedagogy. about that. So I have 3 objectives and 3 research questions over here. So the first one I asked what the impact factor. The second one, what are the related issue and the challenge. And number 3, what the new framework look like and what the element in the new framework or the digital pedagogy. And the methodology I will apply I apply the systematic review for the research question number 1 and number 2, that to find out what the impact factor and what are the challenge. And also I will do the focus group to make sure that everything that we analyze and like develop the framework that approve or get the feedback from the expert from the team member. And this is the timeline that I plan. So the first 4 months, we're gonna start working on the systematic review. In the beginning, I tried to do the meta-analysis, but I don't think 1 year gonna be enough. So I gonna first come up with the systematic review. And the fifth and the another 2 months, I'm gonna analyze the data. Months the 6th and the 7th month, we're gonna look the framework together. 8 to 9, we're gonna find the expert and rewrite the framework. And 11 to at the end of the project, I try to come up with the article for the international publication together. Yeah, this is the overall very short presentation. I'm sorry, compared with others. But if you have any question, you can send the email to me for that.
Thank you so much, Watsatri. I see that Selena raised her hand. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for
Hi.
your thank you for your presentation. I have a question. I saw that you're looking at primary, secondary, and higher education and wanting to develop a digital framework, but these 3 different dimensions of education all have very different ways of teaching and approaching digital pedagogy. What kind of framework are you thinking of developing if you're looking at all 3 strands of educational processes?
You mean among the three the main component of the pedagogy?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that it's very different teaching digital pedagogy to primary school students than it is to higher education students.
In the beginning, to be honest, I try to come out with all the level, but it depends on we can discuss about that if you're interested. But I will focus on the teaching. I mean the pedagogy is referred to the teaching, right? So I try to do the framework that every level can apply.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
We can discuss about that if you want interested to do. We can focus on the detail about that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Selena, and thank you so much, Watsatri. Now we will have our actually final presentation by Dr. Laura Sinoros-Szabo from Hungary. And a quick update, I actually just quickly tried to check with my friends and family back in Bangladesh. I think the government actually blocked the internet, considering the ongoing student protests. So I think Nahid is unfortunately will not be able to join us because he has no way of, I think, communicating with us at the moment. So hopefully everything will be okay and he's okay and everyone back there is okay as well. So now let's invite our proposal for the wild card category, Dr. Laura Sinoros-Szabo. The floor is yours. Whenever you're ready, you can share your screen.
Thank you very much. So I didn't prepare a presentation, but my idea was to collect all the information and knowledge. Sorry, I had the flu this week.
No worries.
And it's still difficult to speak a little. So I thought that it would be a wonderful idea to collect all the knowledge gained in this network, in ASAP class collaboration network, and create all other project proposals, findings, and results on a platform. And I thought that it would be very nice to create a web page for all the ideas, the best practices. This can be like a database for best practices, but of course it would also serve to as a knowledge hub, and it can provide ground for future collaborations as well. And actually, I'll try to show you how I imagine this web page. So how it would look like, because I would use an already existing a web page as a prototype. Can I share? Yes, here we go. So if you can, yeah, here we go. So it would look like this. It would be a database actually, and it could be searched in different categories. If you go into the search, detailed search, if you click on that, Jyoti, yes. Here we can design the categories, in what categories we would like to find the best practice. Of course, these are the categories for the other project. So our categories would be using artificial intelligence in teaching, different projects and events, and research on artificial intelligence in our network. So this would be a platform for our network, basically, to share and collect ideas. And what I'm looking for actually in the project, team members who will work on the categories. So what categories should be searched in this web page, how we should assess what can be filled on the web page, and how we monitor the web page, what's happening with the web page. It also would create a platform for identifying necessities, need analysis. And I would also run a test period. And with the project members, we would also design how the pilot of the web page would operate. And then finally, we would evaluate the test period. So yes, it's this is the basic idea, and you can actually stop sharing now. Thank you, Jyoti, very much. So a database for artificial intelligence in our network, in ASAP ClassNet collaboration, and also like also other willing projects results and best practices and papers can be already presented on this web page.
Thank you so much, Laura. Now I think we can pause here for a quick question and answer session for Laura. If any of you have any questions, you can raise your hand. We have time actually to take more questions.
Maybe it's also important to know that this web page would be hosted by the university, and it would be within the framework of the digital pedagogy center of the university.
Okay. So may I ask, the Digital Center for Pedagogy, is it tackling with overall pedagogy for the whole university, or it's really mainly related to teacher education?
Whole.
Okay.
But, so it's, since it's like, this is a newly set up center in the university, and we don't have like real hand experience how it's going to work. We are setting up this center right now.
Okay.
So there is a lot of space for redefining the functions of the center, but the initial idea is the overall pedagogy, digital pedagogy.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. Any other questions for Laura? We have time. I think now is the moment to clarify anything before you sign up. And it sounds like a very exciting project. So
I was thinking about it, Jyoti, that what happens if nobody is actually having the time and energy or interest in supporting this project or joining the project. But if someone is still willing to do it alone, like let's say that we will do it anyway, the University of Sopron, we're going to create a platform if everybody agrees. And then so we discuss all these categories with you, for example, so with the staff of ASAP.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can do that. Can I also quickly clarify, because we have another track where we currently have 196 participants from the secondary and vocational school, and we actually have mentor and participants from Hungary as well in that track. Are you opening opportunity to work in this project only for example, researchers like here at the faculty collaboration track, or you are also kind of open to engaging school teachers, school leaders, etc.?
Because this is the faculty track, I thought for mainly higher education institutions related topics. But this can be discussed with Rika and with Ariana and with all the other people at the university, what they think about this.
I think that would be great. Just to give you a very brief idea. So some of the teachers from Hungary and from other countries as well are working on innovative teaching practice that tackles, in a way, teacher education. So, for example, for the era of AI, how to empower teachers, what types of teacher training programs should be developed, right? So some of them are taking the philosophical stance in terms of raising awareness about AI. So I think if you have relevant subtopics, or if you have areas that tackles that, maybe those teachers who are very passionate about raising awareness among educators, they can in a way take part as well, because in a way they can bring their perspectives as a teacher, and also it will be beneficial for you to also have more supporters and also to gather data as well from a school if you were thinking about it. I think we
Do
can
I understand correctly
yeah.
that so they should be the project members?
Yes.
So
Not
the secondary
necessarily.
teachers.
Yeah. Not necessarily. Taking part in terms of, let's say, doing the research. However, if you want to engage the school leaders and school teachers, if they are interested, of course, we can then also open we can see how we can, in a way, open this project to them as well. Because you were, in case, there is no, if sufficient member do not sign up for the project. However, if you still want to continue it, and then I think that's a support we can offer from ASF. See if our teachers, Hungary or Visegrad region, for example, if they want to take part in it.
I think it's always a good idea to broaden the perspective and then listen to more people and then gain more experience from different fields.
Yeah.
So that's just an advantage to all projects if they have more perspectives.
I'll then note it down, because we do have some teachers who also have a PhD in education, and they are working as a teacher, but also in some capacity with some of the Ministry of Education associated initiatives, working as a trainer as well.
To be honest, I really support collaborations and projects when different levels of education can collaborate, like primary and secondary and higher education and adult education. So a very comprehensive approach. I think that's very useful, and that's the way ahead. That's what I believe in.
Thank you, Laura. I think we don't have any other presentations because I haven't heard back from Nahid yet. And it's definitely the internet blockage issue by the government. So there is nothing we can do at the moment. I think we can, so some very brief updates from us for you as we are closing the pitching. So our next step is gathering all the project members sign up input, and then we will internally discuss together with our advisors as well, and we will finalize the project list. So the list of the projects that are finalized, all the project lead, they will receive an invitation to join the on-site conference in the Philippines. And also we kept some slots for our other participants to join us. However, our resources are limited. We are basically, supporting both the school collaboration track as well as the faculty collaboration track, selected members to join the conference and providing funding. We kept some slot because, sometimes from your own institution, you might have some institutional funding to join us in Manila as well. So in that case, we kept that option in the sign-up sheet. So if you indicate that, we can also take that into our consideration. And in conversation with our local host, we can then have more invitations for this specific project. And since August, we know that it's July, mid-July, till mid-August, or July-August is a very big holiday period in Europe. So we designed our program in a way where you can see there is no active sessions in August after today. We kept that period for you to, in a way, reflect on that project proposal that you have designed after you receive the sign-up form, how you want to, for example, initiate it and then take it to the next step. And then we will by mid-August, our plan is by early August. However, we might delay till mid-August because sometimes things internally also takes time. We will start to communicate with the on-site conference invitation, as well as for some of you requested the certificate of completion for your own institutional record. So we will work on that as well. And then those of you who will be joining actively for the project, of course, we will share more updates on it by mid-August. So that's the plan for now. And we will summarize all this and then send you a closing email update for the cross-faculty dialogue phase. And then all the information that you require will be there. I saw that Laura, you raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Yes, because I just would like to make it clear that so on the on-site event in the autumn, in November, correct?
Yes.
So by that time, we don't need to start the project, right? So in November, we're going to present the idea and we're going to work on the project after that.
Yes.
Okay.
So we kept it a bit flexible. The way we approached it, if I reflect on two examples from last year, one of the project was implemented in February this year. Another project that was a comparative study. So they worked on it ever since they began it in last October. Last year, our cycle was a bit actually, later than this year. This year we moved it forward. So that comparative study by a participant from Japan. So they now finished the comparative study and they are having a conference in November, right after our conference. So the participant is coming with insights from the comparative study in Manila. And then after that, some of the participants, alumni from last year, they are joining in Japan. So you can see the frame in terms of implementation. For the one that was implemented in February, that was an event. So that was a symposium. Actually, one of the participants here, Selena, she was a speaker. She was one of the panelists there as well. And for that one, there was over 360 participants came from 61 countries. So that was a very successful event. And one of the participants also from University of Tartu, Emmanuel. So he and University of Tartu and Professor Marcus Pedaste, alumni from last year, they supported the project institutionally as well. So in a way, two institutions joined forces. And for the other one now that is closing in November with a conference on the comparative study, or actually the professor from UCL and some of the members also in a way took part and joined institutionally to support. So for this year's project, we are in a way inviting the final list of project leads to the conference so that they can work together also with the faculty advisors. So we have 4 advisors who were alumni from the last year and showed, of course, outstanding commitment and contribution. So they will be able to advise as well, depending on their experience, as well as also their academic background and experience. So that's the idea. However, as I see from Professor Sangchi's proposal, please correct me if I'm, if I didn't get it completely. You are in a way planning to initiate some activities beforehand, right? If you could quickly clarify, that would be very helpful, Professor Sangchi.
Regarding my project, yes, I actually have planned to develop the resources already, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So I assume that once you have the list of members who signed up for your project, depending on the discussion with them, depending on the support that you require from them, things will change a little bit, right? And then I think as a team, you will decide and then inform us, of course, what you are doing. And then we will also from our side see what support we can provide. And we are also trying to see how we can improve the project this year compared to last year. And we are trying to, in a way, so in 2018, our next project, next edition will take place in Beijing, China. And we are currently working with Beijing Normal University to host it. So we don't have any concrete updates yet. However, if everything goes well and all the funding and everything is in place, of course, we will then again try to invite the successful projects to present their insights in Beijing, China as well. And then also see how we can build more partnership to, in a way, increase the impact of the projects that are designed and implemented. So that's the very brief update and that I can quickly share. But again, nothing is confirmed yet. And for some of the projects, if you have already some insights from the implementation of some progress, you can share that during the on-site conference in Manila. We will basically have, so we haven't shared the program with you yet, but we are going to do very soon. We have one day dedicated to something called Innovathon. So during the Innovathon day, what we do is everybody works on their projects, both the school collaboration participants as well as the faculty collaboration participants. And then the idea is to strengthen it by peer-to-peer conversation, idea sharing, and engagement. And then on the final day, there is another final pitch where we basically give an innovation award for both faculty and school collaboration projects. So that's in a nutshell overview of how it's going to be. And of course, from our side, we are constantly looking for support. That's how actually Beijing Normal University, I think I see Professor Guangshen is here today. If I may quickly invite you to share your perspectives. I think you might know Professor Ronghui Huang and Dr. Ting Wen. So we are actually working with them, and also Professor Li Wen. She's from the Beijing Normal University Zhuhai campus. So we are in a way trying to figure out a way to see how we can support the participants better. And I know being from Singapore, NIE, I think you also have a lot of very exciting initiatives going on, and from I can see from University of Sopron, Hungary as well. So the way we are trying to frame this is how we can bring all of you together and to see if you can combine your own institutional resources with each other to build very strong project through partnerships. So that's something you can think about as well, how you want to, in a way, take part with the other project and also, tap on the other institution's resource and then share a bit of your own institutional resources. So far, we don't have any project-specific resources yet, but in the future that might change. For now, a lot of our resources are spent on bringing people together on visibility, communications, as well as for the on-site conference. So yeah, that's it from our side. And I think we can end this session a bit early. If nobody has any questions, please look out for an email from us. We will summarize all the project pitches as well as share all the relevant links so that those participants who couldn't join us live today also have all the information they need. Angie, do you like to add anything? Do you have anything to add if I missed anything at all?
No.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And any questions from anyone? Okay, no questions. Hopefully everything is clear. Thank you so much. We are really appreciative of the hard work you put into and very, very proud of your commitment as well as the, creative projects that you have proposed and designed. And we are really hoping that, it will come to fruition and there will be some amazing results and impact from these initiatives. And thank you for being with us in this journey. And have a lovely day in Europe, a very good evening in Australia, and evening as well in Asia and in Singapore.